Hey everyone, it's Jack here, TalkNorwichCity. Welcome back to another video. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas Day and Boxing Day. I hope the result against West Brom didn't spoil it too much, and I hope you're having a lovely festive period, whatever you're up to. Plenty of Lakens has been consumed in this household. Everything's very merry, but to dampen the mood somewhat, I'm here to speak about that Boxing Day defeat at the Hawthorns to West Bromwich Albion. Look, Norwich have been in good form of recent weeks. One defeat in the last 8 matches. Granted, that fixture list has been fairly kind to us through the kind of start of December, leading into this really busy period. And I think that the question mark was always, okay, like, have performance levels increased, but we're maybe just being slightly down on it? Or is it the fact that we should be, knocking these teams off fairly comfortably, the likes of Huddersfield, the likes of QPR, Sheffield Wednesday, etc., etc., and maybe we've come along a little bit since that really shocking run of form through October and November. Now this is the litmus test. We've got a couple of really good sides coming up over this period. West Brom we've played, Millwall, Southampton, and then we've got Hull, West Brom, Leeds, Coventry. It's a tricky period this for Norwich, and I think we'll really understand where we're at. And if we're going off of yesterday's performance, I think we're in a position where we probably just deserve to be. We're 12th place in the Championship, and I think that's exactly what we are at this stage. We are a very average Championship side that will pick off some of the teams below us and then really struggle against those with some quality and some good coaches in charge. I just look at the table and it feels very similar to last season, where Norwich are kind of in and around the playoff mix. What are we now? We're still only a couple of points off the top 6 because of results going our way, and it just feels like we're keeping enough kind of proximity to that to still have hope. But actually, are we going to be good enough in the current setup to reach the top 6? I question it. I seriously question it. The game was it was hardly a thriller, was it? West Brom won it 1-0. Thomas Asante with the winning goal on the 50-minute mark, but that doesn't really tell the full story. The headline will be that of Borja Sainz being sent off for a second bookable offence for dissent. I think that will have angered a few fans, but actually, having listened back to the comments from Wagner, the comments from Hanley, there were very little complaints from the club's perspective, and I think Sainz will learn a lot from that. I remember Buendia's kind of first season at Norwich City, and there were moments of just utter stupidity, learning the league, learning the language, learning football in this country, what you can and can't do. I think the joy of Borja Sainz is, he's constantly on the edge of chaos. And that can go really well, or it can end really badly. We've seen, the goals that he's scored already for Norwich City. He has just real quality, but he's feisty, and he's living his life very much on the edge on that football pitch. The first booking is a clear booking. It's professional foul with West Brom on the counter attack. It was silly, deserved the booking. The second one, it's just stupid. He's signalled to the referee to get out a yellow card. I think it was a challenge on Ashley Barnes. The referee's gone, no, don't like that, see you later. It does seem very soft, but the players have been warned about this throughout the season. It's something you just can't do in 2023 on a football pitch. It's stupid from Sainz. He's an important player for us, and he'll miss the next game. And look, West Brom were very much on top before the sending off, but I think that made it really difficult for us from that stage. So I think Sainz will have hopefully learnt his lesson. And I'm sure there are some very unhappy staff members with Sainz yesterday. Everyone kept saying to me throughout that really good run of form, 1 defeat in 8, as I mentioned earlier, has your opinion on David Wagner changed? And I was reluctant to give a comment until kind of the end of this festive period, once we'd played West Brom, once we've played Southampton, and probably out the back of that and into the fixtures after the new year in Hull, West Brom again, and then Leeds United. We would have played teams above us then on a consistent basis, and I think then you could make a fair assessment. I'm still very much, I was going to say leaning, it's more than leaning, sort of falling into the Wagner out camp. this is a side with talent in, and Sargent's on the fringes of returning as well, and he will give us extra ammunition going forwards. I'm just seeing a really poorly coached side. West Brom, I would say pound for pound, probably squad very similar to ours. If not, I would say that ours is better on paper. And we were just absolutely dominated in every area of the pitch, and that's not acceptable. We should be in a very similar place to West Brom, and they're above us in the table. I think they look one of the quality outfits of this season that we've played so far. I know they couldn't score more against us, and they will be frustrated with that, but they're on 39 points. We're on 34. I would argue now that there's probably one playoff spot up for grab. I think Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton, Leeds, West Brom have all pretty much, I'm not going to say guaranteed top six, but they look like the standout sides. And then you've got this chasing pack who's led by Sunderland, and then you've got Hull, Bristol City, Preston, Watford, Cardiff, us, Coventry, Middlesbrough. You could probably go all the way down to Blackburn in 15th place, who are only 3 points behind us, who you would say all have a chance of top six. So although you could say, Jack, we're in 12th, we're still only 2 points off the playoffs. We have to get behind Wagner. I would agree to a certain extent. We have to back the boys. We have to get behind them and give them our full support. But I think we also have to question, if anyone with eyes that were watching that game against West Brom could say that we were bossed. And I'm not willing to accept that. I think we should be better than we are. I think we've got the quality to back that up. But Norwich find themselves literally in mid-table, and I think that's exactly where we belong to be. We're just very average. Yet to really be impressed by a performance since, you've got to go a long way back. I think the performance against Huddersfield was controlled, but they looked really poor. Sheffield Wednesday, we were bright in that second half. But I'm looking back even against the wins against Bristol City and Cardiff away from home and going, that's just not a sustainable way of winning football matches. And we probably saw that in the result against Watford. We probably saw that in the game against West Brom, giving up loads of the ball, very few chances. And if that Hwang header goes in, you could be walking away with a point and going all professional performance away to West Brom. But I'm just looking at this of a longevity perspective, and I think if you extrapolate these performances from now until the end of the season, we probably finish somewhere around where we are now. And we've got a really pivotal month coming up, a January transfer window. No real signs from Ben Napper. I haven't heard from him recently about making any managerial moves. So one would assume that Wagner will be the man until the end of the season. And for a board of directors and a club that said the absolute aim was playoff football, I just don't think it will be achieved under this current managerial team. And that may sound harsh because yes, we have been in good form. We've turned it around, and yes, I do think we've shown really great character over the last few weeks in a few of those wins, particularly as well that draw against Ipswich Town I thought was impressive from a character point of view. I don't think you can question that. I think the players are still very much behind this manager, and that does hold weight, and that will hold weight. And I think probably we've already seen that because Wagner's still the man in charge, and I don't think too many managers who have suffered the form that we've been through at times this season will have still held the job. So there's obviously reason for him still to be in post, and I'm sure plenty of people will go, well, probably weren't expected to get anything from West Brom, move on to Millwall, hopefully beat them. I just don't see this going anywhere, and I want to see this club progress. I want to see us up properly in the mix of the playoffs, and I think it's deceiving because how long did we kid ourselves last season that, we're only 2 points off the playoffs, then it grows a little bit, then it's 4 points, then you're 6 points off the playoffs, and then you go, well, if, Team X loses their next 3 and we win our next 3, then we might have a chance. We're lying to ourselves, we're kidding ourselves. We have to look at this with real, neutrality and go, is this working? Some of you may think it is. I'm of the belief it isn't. I think there is more quality in this team that we're seeing in terms of performances, and the variable of that is the head coach. And look, I don't think he will be sacked. I just don't see this going anywhere. If Norwich City are happy to finish mid-table, then cool. Stick with your man and be make him the man in charge for this January. And maybe we might see an uptick in form when Josh Sargent returns. I think it would be bold to throw all of your eggs in that basket on a man that's been out since the start of the season. I mean, he's going to basically be learning to jog again, let alone coming in and firing on all cylinders from day one. So, yeah, just a really disappointing performance. I thought we were passive. I thought the substitutions were poor. I thought Borja Sainz let himself down. To bring on Hanley and Danny Bart at half-time in the replacement of Johnny Rowe and Ashley Barnes, I thought just signalled, this is damage limitation from this point. And maybe you can't blame Wagner for Sainz getting sent off, but I think it sets a tone that we've seen so often this season, and it's not particularly exciting. Would love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. As I say, a really busy period coming up. Stay locked in on TNC for all of that coverage. Millwall on the 29th, Southampton on the 1st, and then an FA Cup tie against Bristol Rovers on the 6th of January. So much going on. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you tomorrow for the preview of the Millwall game. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.